Hey everyone! Starbase is buzzing with activity as preparations ramp up for the next launch. It's been several weeks since the last Starship launch, and now excitement is building again. The next Starship launch is closer than we thought, so preparations are more intense than ever. From building a new launch tower to redoing the heat shield on the next ship, there's a lot happening. In this video, we'll dive into all the updates and developments at Starbase. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for future updates on Starship and SpaceX's other groundbreaking achievements. As we saw, SpaceX reached a significant milestone during the last Starship launch by successfully landing both the booster and the Starship upper stage in the ocean. However, there were some minor issues to address. For instance, during the last test flight on March 14, 2024, only 2 of the 13 landing engines managed to relight during the booster's controlled water landing attempt. This was mainly due to liquid oxygen filter blockages. Additionally, the Starship's second stage experienced unexpected heating during atmospheric re-entry because of clogged valves affecting attitude control. Looking ahead, experts are optimistic about the upcoming 5th flight of Starship, which is expected to showcase further advancements. The next launch is anticipated in the coming weeks, with SpaceX possibly catching the Super Heavy booster with the chopstick arms of the giant launch tower at Starbase. The prototypes for this mission are Ship 30 and Booster 12. Ship 30 has undergone several design revisions, such as new vent designs and relocated antenna arrays, and completed its static fire test in early May. Ship 26 had been at the NASA's outpost for a few weeks undergoing a static fire test on the newly built static fire test stand. The aerial views show the flame trenches looking almost new with no major damage incurred during the test. Ship 26 has since been removed from the stand, placed on its transport stand, and rolled out of NASA's down Highway 4 to the Rocket Garden. The new structural test stand at SpaceX's NASA's outpost is rapidly evolving. Currently, the 3rd level of the stand has been completed, and parts for a potential 4th level are already visible. This new test stand is designed to accommodate various tank sizes and configurations, which is crucial for testing the structural integrity of different components of SpaceX's Starship and Super Heavy rockets. The FAA and SpaceX have also initiated an environmental impact statement at Launch Complex 39A in Florida. This process involves a detailed analysis to assess the potential environmental consequences of the planned activities and ensure compliance with federal regulations. One key factor prompting this environmental impact statement is the introduction of new designs for the Starship and its Super Heavy booster. According to the documentation, these new designs include 35 Raptor engines on the Super Heavy booster and 9 Raptor engines on the Starship. This significant increase in the number of engines requires a comprehensive evaluation of the environmental impacts, particularly concerning noise, air quality, water resources, and wildlife. The reference to 35 Raptor engines suggests a potential future configuration where Super Heavy boosters might feature 15 inner engines, aligning with the new thrust simulator stand for testing. This setup is designed to simulate the intense thrust and operational conditions the boosters will encounter during actual launches. One of the most ambitious plans for the upcoming 5th flight is to catch the Super Heavy booster using the Mechazilla arms, a bold strategy that has never been attempted before. The concept involves using the tower's mechanical arms, nicknamed Mechazilla, to catch the returning booster by its grid fins. This method eliminates the need for landing legs, reducing the rocket's weight and enabling a quicker turnaround for subsequent flights. The idea is that by catching the booster with the launch tower, SpaceX can reposition it onto the launch mount, potentially ready for another flight within an hour. During the 4th test flight, SpaceX simulated this booster catching technique using a virtual tower. The booster executed a soft splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico, successfully demonstrating its controlled descent capabilities. This virtual simulation provided valuable data and confidence that the system could work with an actual launch tower in future tests. Elon Musk noted that the successful landing on the virtual tower would allow the company to proceed with attempting to catch the booster on the real tower in the upcoming flight. The testing process for the Mechazilla tower began earlier this year, with SpaceX performing basic tests on the mechanical arms. These tests included lifting, opening, and swinging the arms to ensure they could handle the load and movements required to catch a landing booster. These important tests have shown promising results, leading SpaceX to believe that the system is ready for a real-world application during the next flight. By reusing rockets more frequently and reducing turnaround times, SpaceX can significantly cut costs and increase the frequency of its launches. Now, whenever SpaceX plans to launch another rocket, we worry more about the Federal Aviation Administration (FAA) license than technical problems. Following the fourth Starship flight on June 6, 2024, the FAA conducted a safety review and updated the launch license to allow SpaceX to proceed with their next flight set for late July 2024. This approval came with specific conditions designed to streamline the process. The FAA's reaction to the fourth flight was generally positive, acknowledging that SpaceX had met all necessary safety and licensing criteria. However, the agency continues to monitor SpaceX's operations closely. For example, an environmental group recently announced its intent to sue SpaceX over alleged violations of the Clean Water Act related to their launch operations at Starbase. When we think about the fact that Musk plans to launch 1,000 Starships in the future, it's hard not to wonder how he will handle all the licensing issues and environmental concerns for each launch. This is where the concept of a portfolio launch license becomes crucial. A portfolio launch license is designed to cover multiple launches over a specified period, rather than requiring individual approvals for each flight. This type of license can significantly streamline the process and reduce bureaucratic delays. Currently, the FAA requires a separate license for each launch, which is time-consuming and unnecessary, particularly for a company like SpaceX that aims to increase its launch frequency dramatically. While working day and night for the next flight, SpaceX is also competing fiercely with other space companies to secure some of the largest contracts in the space industry. Recently, SpaceX, along with Blue Origin and United Launch Alliance, was granted a share of $5.6 billion in Pentagon launch contracts. The competition for these contracts is intense. Blue Origin, Rocket Lab, and United Launch Alliance are all rushing to establish themselves as reliable launch providers and challenge SpaceX's dominance in the industry. For example, Blue Origin is working on several ambitious projects, including the New Glenn rocket and the Blue Moon lunar lander for NASA's Artemis program. And that's all for today's update. If you enjoyed watching and found it useful, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.